All right, ladies and gentlefolk, welcome to the next broadcast of Stones of Faerûn. We are now live on Twitch, and this is a little bit of a later start. Probably holidays get the better of us sometimes, and um, tech issues can kind of get in the way. But I think we've got them all covered. It looks to me like my voice is actually coming through this time, so that helps a little bit. But we're gonna get ourselves underway here now. The Where we left off last time. Yeah, first of all, at the last bit, yeah, I say this like Critical Role starts on time every time. Thankfully, we get pretty close. Actually, I've been pretty pleased with this so far. But the last session where we started left off, you had just spent some time um, in a crypt in Valingen Graveyard on the north side of Phlan. Having tried to determine whether or not the previous or the occupant, the long-term occupant of the crypt, was in fact draconic in background. The result ended up being that somehow one of your party, Tibin, ended up disappearing, and we have some theories as to why that may have happened, including an Abishai possession of some sort, but without knowing 100% for certain, all you know is that you saw this flying dark shape heading off towards the west. And so don't necessarily know exactly what happened to Tibin, except that he is no longer with you. On the flip side of that, as you arrived back at the tea kettle trying to regather yourselves, you came across a new individual by the name of Autumn. Autumn is a wizard who is now joining us and joining the party as well. As fairly shortly after meeting Autumn and having a couple of first exchanges with him, Roman, who had just finished purchasing for himself, I believe it was some armor from Yana Hammerbound's location, managed to meet up, be intercepted, I should say, by a gnome who introduced himself as Rillo Leadstopper. He was rather distraught, and he was looking to see if he could get somebody to help him out with locating his daughter, who he thought was maybe had run afoul of something. She'd been getting in, trying to find out where she is, maybe locate her. The last he left, he had said that he found somebody who was able to identify that there was this potential secret hideaway that the Black Fist had, that he suspected was where she was being held, possibly by Black Fist. And that is where we have left off. And so, with that, we now get to. Sorry, give me 1 second with the music. There we go. And there we go. So, is there anything that you guys wanted to say before we carried on from here? All right. So the last thing you would have heard would have been, I'm not getting sounds from anybody talking at this point in time, just so quick mic check. Everybody, why don't you guys all just quickly say hello to everybody out there in the wonderful wide world? There we go. Okay. We will just make sure that it's better than my voice acting, I guess. So it's all good. All right. So Rillo kind of says the last thing that Rillo said to you was something along the lines of, um, "Will you help? I can provide you with something. I don't have much to pay with, but I can provide you with something." And um, her name is Vilona. Um, I can take you to the person who said they knew where this secret hideout was, if that helps. Maybe That's okay. Rillo. Yes. Ha. Rillo is his name. And Rillo interrupts for a second. Rillo, that is remarkable. How did you do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, I suppose, uh, would that be all of you that would be helping out? He says, and he's got this very, you imagine, the Puss in Boots looking up at you with a doughy eyes kind of look. Well, I have a little. I have, um, around. I've saved this up for some time, but I do have around 50 gold that I could offer. Ooh, this magnificent magnifying glass, of course, too. I could throw this in, and we could. I hope that would be good. Yes, absolutely. It's down on the other side of the town, nearby where the old guild house was. But the what I do tends to be more along the lines of like musical trinkets that some of the noble folk like to buy when I set up a shop in also in New Phlan too. But uh, it takes a little bit of time to save that much money up. But it's important. It's important for Vilona. My music boxes. Yeah. Hmm. I'd be quite happy to show you my what I have in my collection, and I can usually create anything that you would want if I don't already have it made. If there's a particular melody that you prefer that you appreciate for all of you, you would all want a music box. That would be marvelous. Okay, fair enough. Absolutely. So, Lumina, I'm going to get you to roll a quick little insight check if you don't mind, please. All right. Yeah. So you get the sense from Nightingale's expression that um, she really did just kind of want to get an idea as to what it was going to be like to do this, and she's really urgently looking out the kind of furtive glances towards the door as if, and she's been doing this for quite some time. Even when she was coming back to the tea kettle, she made a double take before turning south back into Phlan. When it was obvious to you that what she actually wanted to do was go north along the Stojano Trail. So you've been paying attention to this mostly because you've been the one that's been closest to Nightingale. And with that, Nightingale picks up her pack. Carry on, Nightingale. Tell us how you would depart. And so, Roman, roll a religion check for me, please. Roman. Oh, now Roman, if you are having the tech issues, let me know. I can click something for you if you need me to. Okay, you could. Do you have other regular dice with you there? Or actually, do you have if the Discord is working, you can roll inside Discord too. We got you need to roll a religion. Ooh. All right. Well, it's a what you are able to discern is that this is not really a coin. It's kind of um, a fake coin or fake. The metal doesn't look like it's actually gold, um, but it does have it has a face that's just it's slightly familiar, but it's just outside of what you recall because it has a similar look to something to a face you've seen before, but for whatever reason, this one's just enough different that it's just not quite connecting for you. Similar. And what you also recall is that when it was found at the foot of that one gentleman who had that gem that had the lightning stored in it. Fair enough. And Nightingale, anything else? And Rilla says, "It wasn't something I said, was it?" Hmm. Well, I can promise you that Velona is not winged. So, shall we to the goblin? I can find that person that helped me get the information I needed, and you can maybe get them to help you find the right spot. They wouldn't go with just themselves. They would. They had a friend, but their friend didn't really help out much. Maybe with more people, they'd be more willing. All right, well, let me lead you on then. And he quickly kind of he starts towards the door, kind of waving at you to come follow him as well. Anything you guys need to grab before you guys head out? Or are you guys good with what you got? All right, and so we're going to get to the right soundtrack now. So you make your way out into the evening air in Phlan, and Rillo immediately takes a left and starts walking you down towards what you guys have now recognized as kind of an entrance to New Phlan, and then walking past it a little bit, following this little gnome who's much shorter than all of you through the streets. He's relatively quick, and so you kind of have to keep your step lively. I'm gonna get. Let's see here. Let's go for a few. For I think probably best people would probably be Marisol, Autumn, and Roman. To get you guys to roll a quick perception check for me, please. As you're walking through the streets of Phlan to see what happens, see what's going on about you. This is Marisol, Autumn, and Roman. That's all right. Let's get these ones out of the way right now, right? Yeah, yeah, I think so. All right. So, Autumn, you're as you're walking along, you're able to make a detailed description of the streets of Phlan. You notice a couple of people who are in corners and alleyways that you're pretty certain don't have their left ear, um, but they're just kind of sitting there chatting. You do notice a couple of Black Fist every once in a while walking past you. You also roll kind of are writing furiously down descriptions of the buildings, which are showing wear and tear over the years. Some of the buildings, some of the more older stone buildings, still seem to have scorch marks in certain places if they are not in the wealthier sides of town, which you can very easily see are on the opposite sides of some city walls. You look out towards the sea and are immediately aware, as is Marisol, of how dark the moon sea looks as you guys are getting closer to it, because you are walking towards the moon sea, towards the docks, and it just seems dark and foreboding. As you get a little bit closer, it's easily seen the location that Rillo is taking you towards. It's obvious that he's taking you to a 3-story building, which is slightly unusual along the docks. Not all the buildings are 3 stories tall, but this one is. And so he takes you to a building that has lots of ruckus sounds and conversation. It's very well lit on particularly the main level, a couple of lights up in the very top level, dull light in the second level. And as he gets there, you guys see the name on the front of this. The building is called the Laughing Goblin. And as he enters in, is there anything that you guys want to do before you enter into the building? Sure. Go ahead and while we are with your perception check, the kinds of people that you're generally speaking going to see around here are going to be you'll see a lot of dock workers, people who've probably been working with fish, not necessarily with the greatest of dental care, we'll say. And you also see some Black Fist kind of walking up and down. It seems to be a little bit more regular patrol the closer you get to the docks that you see Black Fist. You happen to see a couple of Black Fist come out of a building um, that is right across the street from the Laughing Goblin. So, and you kind of surmise this must be some sort of outpost or other location where the Black Fist tend to work or connect or something to that effect. Maybe they get their jobs there or something to that effect. And you'll see a lot of sailors and a lot of people who are passing through. But a lot of it seems that at this time of night, there's not a lot of people left out on the docks. They all seem to have wandered towards this tavern, or if not from to this tavern, then they carry on past this tavern on the way into the deeper into Phlan instead. Um, Ready to head on into the building then? Okay. Well, opening up the door. This time I'm going to get everybody to roll a perception check. Yes, because we're now in a new location to see something slightly different. Ooh. Boy, let's get these rolls out of the way right now, right? There are, yes. That's impressive. So, Rillo basically barges straight into the building, and immediately all of Lumina, Marisol, and Autumn are just overwhelmed by the number of people and the smell. In particular, the smell. It smells like um, I imagine it as a month-old hockey bag mixed with spilled beer. Um, it is ripe. And so what you kind of are immediately the smell kind of wafts out at you as you go into the building, and your eyes begin to water a little bit. The only thing that you guys are all able to notice is the very large gargoyle that's right smack in the middle of the entire place, which looks like a goblin that is sneering. As for Roman and for Emery, you both walk in and immediately watch where Rillo leads towards. And Rillo turn as soon as he walks into the building, he immediately turns left, and you can see amongst the other people in there, you kind of follow his direction of travel towards a table that currently has four people seated at it. There is a very young-looking, blue-skinned male. There are two other humans there as well, and then there is a lizard folk all at the same table that Rilla was starting towards. Um, you also do notice at Emery in particular, with your quick glance, you notice there's a table of dwarves almost directly in front of you as you come into the building. There are some dock workers that are kind of sitting kitty corner to them. You do notice in the back of the building there is the large, very long bar and a demure-looking black-haired, long black-haired woman back there. There is also with your elf eyes, you do see in the very in one corner three people who look very bookish, and then in the opposite corner, three people who look decidedly not bookish, perhaps strong, wealthy merchants or something to that effect. Certainly not noble wealth, but hardened wealth, if you will. And Blackfist, you do see four Blackfist who seem to be sitting off duty having a pint as well. So it's a very busy establishment, somewhere in the neighborhood, certainly far busier than Madame Fiona's ever has been. You kind of get the sense that Madame Fiona's is more like a bed and breakfast as opposed to this much more ruckus location. And being that it is right near the end of the 10 day of this month, it's not a surprise that there's a few people inside this building as well. What you guys, what are you guys planning on doing at this point? All following in? Okay. Um, as you follow in, start towards that table, you, Marisol, now that you're a little bit further in, you notice an individual stand up in the corner, and you're familiar with this individual. Um, you know them from Melvant. You know them as the person who sent you out to this area of the world in the first place. You know them as Teldark. And he just stands up and he's looking directly at you. Over top of the blue skinned person, for that matter. So Rillo goes up to the blue skinned person and kind of tugs on their arm because they were in the middle of conversation with these other three people who were at the table too. Tugs on the arm and says, "Pardon me, I'm hoping to take some more of your time." And the blue skinned person looks at Rillo and then looks up to see the five of you. And describe for us, please, what Surge looks like, please. There you go. And so Rillo, kind of tugging on you, says, "These are my new friends. I'm hoping you can guide us to that location that you told me about." And he kind of winks in a very obvious way, like he has absolutely no clue how he's supposed to be try to be sneaky. Uh, and so you would have heard that from Autumn. Oh, he says, "Go ahead and say that again, Autumn." So the lizard folk across the table looks to you and says, um, "This one might be your opportunity, Surge. I'd give them an ear." "This might be the best place for you, the place to start at the very least." Rillo looks back towards the five of you, says, "Well, it seems that these ones are willing to work for music boxes, but I don't suppose that's going to work for you, is it?" "Well, I have a little coin saved up. Um, I could easily find a way to get the coin to you. Uh, I just really want you to help find my daughter. I know that she's that you. I know that this will actually help her. I know that you'll be able to find her and easily pull her away from whatever nonsense she's got herself caught up in." And he says relatively sheepishly, 50 gold with for all of you, of course, split. You could work it out with them how you would want to split it." The Thrusk looks at you and says, "See, lend an ear. That's all you have to do is just lend an ear." Uh, Now, Cirillo says with a fairly urgent but uncertain questioning face. Probably not. I mean, you don't necessarily know that, but you would surmise that that would be the case, and you could always mention it and see what perhaps Roman would say, because Roman just left it. Um, the While that's happening, just as you kind of come across that decision, um, Teldark, who's been eyeing Marisol and who has also apparently been eyeing Teldark very carefully, waves her over. At this point in time, Marisol, you will have actually started to pay a little bit more attention to the other people that Teldark was with, and there is a slightly armored gentleman sitting across the table from Teldark. Doesn't look anywhere near as tough as Teldark does, but has armor. And then across the table and from him, and sitting immediately beside Teldark, is a little bit of a shorter human being, kind of a Weasley-looking fellow. He's got very thin goatee that goes from his lip to underneath his chin. Wiry-looking fellow, but fairly hardened looking expression, and you kind of get the sense that you probably know who this person is, although you've never met them in person. You kind of know by reputation who Chob is. He is not. No, he's sitting a few tables away. He's sitting very much in the corner of the establishment. Sure, go for a perception. Well, no, this will be an insight check in this case. And if you've been hiding it, then trying to hide it, Marisol, go for a deception check. But if you haven't, we're just going to use a basic check on insight here. Okay. There it is. That is impressive. That is impressive. All right. That is fantastic. Okay, well, at least we're hopefully rolling them all out of the dice here tonight. So with that, you haven't actually noticed anything. You are still examining this coin just a little bit, Roman. The at this point in time, having been waved over Marisol, what do you decide to do? Okay. And Teldark says, "New friends." Indeed. I suppose pleasantries should be afforded here. You know Chob, I'm sure. And Chob just kind of does the reverse bro nod at you. And we're going to pause your interactions there for just a little bit. Is there anything that anybody else was interested? No, you have not had a long rest since you left the crypt, just for clarification. Yes, indeed. Is there anything else that any of the rest of you, Emery, Lumina, Autumn, that you're interested in tackling, or Roman for that matter too? Okay. You could roll your insight check on them if you would like. Okay. Fair enough. Emery, anything in particular? That's right. Um, Lumina, or who have I missed? Autumn there. So, Serge, if you want, you can speak them out. You can just say that I'm sharing what I know. Well, I wouldn't go in, says the lizard folk. Okay. And with that, you guys start to pay a little bit more attention to the Blackfist. They're about 2 tables away from you, but they don't seem to be paying any attention to you guys at this point in time. Partly, it's a cop slash sailor slash dock worker slash I'm not really having a good time with my life bar. It's all good. And you guys kind of pay it. Just see as Serge leaves, you notice the lizard folk kind of goes wide eyed and then puts their drink down and immediately follows out as well. Oh, you yeah, totally sure. All right. So we will go back over to Marisol for a second. Um, the Teldark looks at you and says, "We hadn't heard from you for quite some time. I was wondering if things were still going well, if you'd learned much about this human and the goblins." Hmm. How? Why is it that we hadn't heard from you before then? And finally, you get Chab to speak up. Quite varied company you keep. Come now, I'm only concerned for your well-being. Considering what happened to your father's place in Melvont and all, I think you'd probably want to know a little bit, be a little bit more friendly with me. We can provide you some protection, you know. Indeed, you are. Very much so. And I think that's kind of the point, don't you? And Teldark looks to you. Um, you do know that your father's business was ransacked no more than 2 weeks ago. That's why we thought that we had to check in with you. We thought you would have absconded. Come now, says Chob. What couldn't possibly be us? We don't have anything else to worry about at your place. We've already had our look, and you know that. We haven't heard from them either. And we're going to pause you there. Having seen Surge and the lizard folk leave the establishment, the other five of you guys, four of you guys, I should say, what is your immediate response? Are you going to follow? What are you going to do? Okay. Rilla says, I haven't been able to get any information about anything from anybody else. I really can't. You see those people over at the counter, and you see a couple of halflings sitting at the table. I thought for sure that they would be willing to share some information, but no. Even the drunk in the corner didn't want to tell me anything about anything. So, really, they're our only choice, don't you think? Yes, and well, to be perfectly honest, I don't know about the blue one. The lizard folk seems to be. I don't know. I get the sense of family man, fatherhood. I think he kind of would want to help but doesn't know how. Much like me. That's that's very well put. Yes, and he nods vigorously. Oh, that's quite normal. They are around the docks regularly. That's where a lot of shady stuff happens on the docks sometimes, you know. But they also have a guard that is posted out at the so-called keep, and they're centered out of the building right across the street. It's just uh, an administrative office, if you will. The so-called family manages the keep for the most part, but the Blackfist, they're the ones who operate it, or well, guard it. It's got the lighthouse, so it's particularly important. I hadn't even thought of that. What were you saying, Emery? Emery, I'm going to get you with your actually, you know what? With your 15 perception that you had earlier on, I'm going to tell you that these Black Fist don't have much upon them aside from their scimitars. They don't look like they are not armored. They, in fact, what armor they or what clothing they do have, they have basically like when you loosen off your tie at the end of a long day of work. That's kind of what they've done is they've just kind of dressed themselves down for a pint. So you kind of get the impression they wouldn't have a whole heck of a lot on them, aside from, well, their scimitars. And Rilo says, it's it's a particularly stout ale. Um, at about this point in time, a fairly rotund fellow comes up to you guys. He is probably a little bit shorter than Lumina. Yeah, just a little bit shorter than Lumina, not much, but certainly much more rounded and sweating profusely. And he says, I see that they all left now, so I guess you guys are welcome to this table. Can I get you some of our cabbage soup? It's among it. I'm sure that you're probably thinking along the smell of some of the patrons here. Apologies, but the cabbage soup is it's to die for. Everybody comes for it. Okay, yeah. So he's, oh my, absolutely. And he immediately goes straight back over to the bar and goes to the demure, black-haired lady and kind of speaks to her quickly, and she looks towards you with a little bit of a questioning glance, but still pours the bowl nonetheless. We're going to switch back over to Marisol at this point, though. So Marisol, just as at about this point in time, Autumn is actually coming to sit down at the table with you. Okay, fair enough. And Chob says to you, as you say, there's a debt, and there are many ways that this debt can be paid. Particularly, we've been wanting somebody to visit Tinhammer Falls. There's been some opportunities, we think, open up there. And the younger fellow, who's now currently sitting immediately beside you, Marisol, says, "But I thought that was gonna be." And the immediately Chob just kind of gives a really stern look to the young fellow, and he just shuts up and clams up completely. He says, "There's an opportunity to turn that town into something, um, into a town that would be also in debt to the Zents. So if you were to go and take your companions with you to it, it's an option. It's a bit of a distance, but it would definitely make a big dent on the debt that you owe." Yep. It's actually true. His book is magic. Um, can you post that, Autumn? Do you have that in your sheet? Yeah. Okay. So, um, okay. I am gonna say, okay. You know what I'm gonna do, because I don't think that there's much in here that actually says anything about this kind of thing. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for, yeah. You know what? We're gonna play this out. I'm gonna say Arcana check Autumn to contest against the strength check of Marisol. Yes, you can actually, and that's a bonus action. So yeah, yeah, reaction. Thank you. Good point. Oof. Okay. She you now immediately at Marisol, when you go to reach it, you actually feel a barrier just kind of stop your hands, and you just push that much harder. You're furious right now, and so you push that much harder, and you still grip the book. Autumn is still holding on to the book as well, but you do have actually broken it through, and Autumn is giving you this really um, almost scared but urgent look of desperation as you've now grabbed the book and basically have the upper hand. If you want to rip it out of his hand, you can. That way you could definitely do. Yes, with that strength check for sure. And Chab laughs loudly. So now we're gonna go back over to the other group who you have now just seen some sort of exchange happen between Marisol and Autumn in particular, and Marisol steps out of the building. By this point in time, the soup has been delivered to the Blackfist. Okay. I believe that leaves Emery and Autumn at this point in time. No, he landed solidly, but all right. And so you, Emery, as you were leaving, you do happen to notice the people in the corner that Marisol was speaking to, and they're snickering and you actually might hear the words with your 15 perception check. You will hear the words from a deeper voiced individual saying, "Told you she was right for us." As you're making your way out. And so, you guys are now outside of the Laughing Goblin, back out into the evening air. I'm going to say that it's probably been it's been around 7 or 8 minutes that would happen. The getting the soup to the Blackfist, things like that. I'm going to say a little bit about that long. Okay. Go for a perception check. We'll use that as a way of seeing if you can figure out where they went on the docks. It's also dark. And you've been rolling that once, so I got to double check. Okay, so oh my goodness gracious. Of course not. Why would that be the case? The whole time? Oh my word. Like we said, audio issues. Hey, why don't we give a sound check now?
Testing.
Hello.
Oh, there
Hi,
we go.
people.
Oh my word. This is why we do tech checks but in advance, and still they don't work anyway. Roman, it's all those nat
Yes,
ones.
sir.
I'm just gonna blame all the nat ones. That's it.
And I blame the nat ones on my internet, so
There you go.
it's all on my internet.
There we go. You guys, for who have been sticking around, you guys
It'll be fine.
are incredible. Thank you very much. You're good peeps. That's all there is to it. All right. So, well then, so kind of give you a filler.
Shout out to the cabbage.
Yeah. Give a filler in. So far at this point in time, we've now met Surge, blue male of some sort, who is now been kind of employed by the group, along with Rillo, who will have now followed you guys out of the Laughing Goblin. to guide them to some sort of secret hideaway that Rillo's daughter might be at. Now Serge said, "Let's meet all up at the docks and meet me in 10 minutes." Meanwhile, Marisol had a very terse conversation with a couple of people that she knows from her hometown, and so that's where we're carrying on with. Rowan, you just rolled a perception check to see if you could locate people, and so again, notice now you're actually also noticing that the Moonsea does have this very dark feeling to it, kind of foreboding.
I would have crossed the Moonsea to get to Phlan, correct? So I would have seen this fire. Okay.
You would have seen it. It's just something about it just seems darker than usual. You haven't quite been able to put your finger on it. That being said, as you walk along the beach and along the docks, you do see one of them is particularly unusual in that it seems to have a tail, so you assume that must be the lizard folk, and you make your way out to a pier that the two of them are standing on at the moment. And Rillo is with you as well.
Can I, real quick, just straight up, lean down over the dock and, taste some of the water?
For sure. It is... it's got the taste, the seaweedy type taste of fresh water. The Moonsea is a freshwater lake, really, when it comes right down to it, so you're not expecting a salty flavor. And it's not unexpected. It's definitely got a very mossy, earthy taste to it, but it's still water.
Is there anything I've heard about, darker water than usual being, an omen or a sign of something, or...
You could go for a nature check on that. You would have to do a nature check on it because you haven't been around forests.
It's valid. Nature.
Yeah, it's just... as far as you know, it's just the sea. You don't actually realize that
the lake.
Dark. Yes, yeah, you don't even realize that it's dark. It's just...
So I'm just tasting the water for no reason? It's valid. That's in character. Tasty. Get up and follow the rest of the group.
Okay. Lumina calls Marisol over.
Apparently Marisol stormed away. She's not happy about
Marisol is storming away. So Lumina, are you trying to chase her down then?
Come back. You have to hear what I gave them all this cabbage soup, and I think it's just gonna leave them all gassy. But I couldn't slip anything in. That would have been too risky. Where are you going? Wait, it's a good story. I promise.
Marisol, are you actually trying to sneak away?
I'm not trying to sneak away. I'm too mad in order to be hearing this. Actually, can I roll a perception at disadvantage to see if I actually hear it?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Time for you to multi-class into barbarian.
Yeah, you aren't really hearing a whole heck of a lot. You're now out in the crowded streets. They're not actually crowded. I shouldn't say that. What I should say is that you're basically just storming off down the street, and you've kind of started. The direction that you've chosen has been basically directly east of the Goblin, which is just along the waterway, and that's it. Lumina, she's still storming away from you.
Oh, at least Little Song had the decency to say goodbye first. She does it a lot louder than everything.
Okay, so now that you're gonna hear that this time, Marisol.
I'm scolding you like a mama.
At that tone, I definitely recognize. I snap out of it. Back goes a lot straighter, hands still in fists, and I shoot a questioning look over my shoulder at Lumina.
And she kind of points towards the where the hell the docks that we're going to. This way.
I raise my shoulders in a questioning look.
The blue guy.
Didn't meet him.
Marisol didn't meet
Oh,
third.
right. You're right. Rilu's friend is going to meet us at the docks. Come on.
Sure.
I have problems with object permanence or something. I don't know. My bad.
I shrug and follow after Lumina.
All right. And so now you guys have all, we're going to say that you guys have all kind of convalesced at the docks that that Surge is kind of waiting for you guys at. And Rilo says, okay, now what?
I look at Roman. I scan over the group real quick. I look at Roman, put my hand out to him. Give me your shield.
Why?
Because I lost most of my gear. I can't fight properly without one. You want me to help you? Give it to me. I'll give it back when I can afford one of my own.
I think I'm going to pass on that for now. You'll have to make do with what you have, and when you get paid, you can buy one. I'm not exactly the best in combat as it is. I'd rather keep the protection I currently do have.
I turn to Lumina.
If you're really going to be useless without a weapon, you can have this. And she takes out a little pea shooter like crossbow for you.
I just sarcastically point to deadpan look, and I point to the rapier at my side.
We'll turn back
let's directed at Surge.
I'm not. Okay.
Gives you a challenge. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Roman is very aware that he is not good in melee combat.
If you want to buy a shield, I can lend you the money.
Is the armory even open right now?
Either way, we will find your daughter.
Thank you. All right, I'm seeing from Marisol that our stream's having some challenges, and I don't know what that is because
Yeah, trying to figure that out.
It's working on my end.
Yeah, it's working on my end too. So
We're gonna mind as well.
hopefully it's just a restart or a refresh or something like that. But first of all, for all those people who are on Twitch with us right now, you're awesome. In case you don't know that, thank you guys for sticking around with us. This is episode right around 5-ish of our campaign, so we're really just getting started. And right now, Serge is leading them. So Serge, if you're okay with it, I'll just kind of give a description as to where you're leading them.
Sure, go ahead, because I don't know.
Okay, so
but before we leave the docks,
yep.
Would there happen to be just any open barrels?
Yes, absolutely. You can.
Could I take like a lid off of one of the barrels?
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna let that one happen. Yeah, you go ahead and take a lid right off of one of those barrels.
Would it function similarly to a small shield? Is what I'm wondering.
And now the challenge with these barrels lids is, generally speaking, they don't have a handle on the one side. They tend to be with a stopper hole on the top, and so it'll be.
I can put that.
A portion of a shield. What I'll say is such a shield would offer you, rather than a full AC boost of 2 that it normally would be, we'll make it a 1 for somebody who is proficient with shields, and only if they're proficient with shields. Make sense?
Sure. I'm gonna hijack one of these.
Okay. All right.
I'm assuming that I can see this happen.
Oh, I'm not being stealthy about it.
Yeah.
Autumn's not stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see this.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna add. I'll ask Autumn if it's for the reason that I think it is. And I don't know if he's.
I thought you needed the shield.
I do. If you were going to provide one, I think I have a way to make it easier to handle.
All right. Well, and then I'll hand him the lid and say, "I trust your work." Then.
I have a hand axe. Is there a way that I can wedge the blade of that hand axe between 2 of the planks to make it easier to hold?
Interesting. Wedge the blade. You know what? Yes, but I think we're gonna go for a strength check to see what happens with that.
Okay. I don't have a super high strength, so I doubt I'll break it.
Could I aid him on this, seeing as I am proficient? All right, you gotta aim right here.
Okay. Yep. This is just a strength check?
It's just a strength check, yeah. Not even athletics, just a strength check.
Well, I mean, athletics is... Oh, it's slightly higher, but that's fine. Wow. All right.
Perfect. I was hoping you didn't roll high, because if you rolled high, you would have gone straight through the whole lid. So yes, we're gonna say that with Autumn's assistance, you just get it in there in such a way that you feel like you could actually hold onto the hand axe, and the shield will likely last a couple of blows.
Okay. I mean, it'll probably last a little longer than it would have without it, but who knows?
Very possible, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And then the 2 of us are almost certainly running behind, trying to catch back up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and where Surge leads you, and Thrusk, the lizard folk, is also with you, as is Rillo. Where Surge leads you is down along the Stojano River. So the Laughing Goblin is not far away from the mouth of the Stojano, and so she just takes you basically along the I guess it's the southeast bank of the Stojano River, which is lined with the city walls. And so basically right up from the bank it immediately turns into city wall. There's not really much place to for foot purchase, but there does seem to be a seem to be a bit of a trail the small footpath. It's not very well trodden. It's certainly not padded down heavily, but there is some evidence of people having traveled this side of the wall, which is definitely unusual. That there isn't supposed to be anybody coming over here. Obviously, that's why they put the wall so close to the river, and she leads you along the river until it bends a little bit to the east. You can now see on the opposite side of the river, there's also the city wall right up beside the bank of the river as well. And you can actually see the top of the Stojano Gate, which kind of gives you a little bit of pause because you know that's kind of Blackfist headquarters, but it's obscured from vision by way of the city wall. There's nothing, you can't see any people there. It's just the top of the gate, pretty much, and that's it. And you can also see the top of Castle Valjevo, which is also on the opposite side of the river, behind the city walls. And she's sorry, and you know what? I keep doing this, Nightingale. I apologize. Serge is not. Serge is he. So sorry.
That's okay.
Getting
I
used to
gotcha.
this. Yeah. So Serge stops after a little bit and kind of points up along the riverbank, and I'll get everybody to roll a perception check at about this point in time. And we're going to do it as kind of a group one to see what happens. Oh, that'll help. Ooh, okay. Autumn, you can actually do this with advantage because you have dark vision. I'm going to say the same for Marisol.
I also have dark vision.
And Emery does too, yeah.
I'm an elf.
Roman. Alright.
Okay.
That's much better.
I gotta take that.
We're totally gonna live through this, guys.
Alright, so
hey, it's fine. Two of us can cast light, I think.
Yeah.
Serge has actually seen this because Serge knows where it is. And Serge kind of turns back and gestures that there is a hole kind of carved into. You can see a kind of an entranceway-ish carved into the side of the riverbank under the city wall. But from this distance, really only Lumina can actually see it. For whatever reason, Lumina has actually been able to discern that there is something there that's just not ground.
I have hereditary advantage on spotting cave-shaped things in cliff walls for some reason.
Well, and actually that has something to do with how you got to Phlan in the first place. So yes, you're absolutely right about that.
I see it. It's going to be a bit of... Is it like high up?
It's not high up. It's about 10 feet higher up than where you guys currently are, but it's still about 35-ish feet away from you. And you feel like you're well obscured in the darkness.
Okay. I know it's hard to see, but it's right there, and I just sort of like try to point it out to people. And it's probably better not to turn on any lights yet. Are there any like guards on the wall?
No, you don't see. The walls, what you know of the wall, they really are just specific walls. It's not painted or it's not particular, just about one wall.
Serge, do you know if the Blackfist know about this entrance?
Would I know?
Serge, yeah, you would suspect because you had actually seen, the reason why you even thought to look this way at one point in time was that you saw a couple of Blackfist at night taking this path. Earlier than right now, but still at night taking this path.
I saw a couple of them come this way earlier. That's what you're asking.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we be quiet and we move in.
On Thrusk kind of pats you on the shoulder, Serge, and says, "This is as far as I go. You know that I would gladly help you, but I also have a family to go home to. So, this is as far as I go." And Rilo says,
I put out.
"Me too. This isn't for me."
I put out my hand to Thrusk for a handshake and say thank you for everything you've done thus far.
Don't thank me yet. Thank me when you come out. And then we'll know that it's the right thing for you, as we say.
He'll make it out, whether he wants to or not.
Thank you. It would greatly honor me if you did so.
Wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors.
Well, I'm not waiting. I'm not leaving. I'll stay right here. Because I want to make sure that you're right. That you're all right, and that you haven't pissed these people off too much.
Just in case I don't come back.
All right. And so you guys start to make your way in. Is there a particular marching order that you guys want to go for?
Before we go in.
Yes.
Before we go in, Odin would like to bring up. Maybe we should quick double check, make sure all our gear's ready to go, sort of thing. And as everyone's kind of like double checking things, I would hand Surge the shield. That's the word we're gonna use. I know it's not exactly what you need, but it'll do. Right?
Looks at the shield and kind of leans to the side a little bit and looks at you. What's your name again?
Odin. Odin and Ilgun.
Gives a frustrated eye roll and takes the shield.
After that's done. We're all good.
All right. Then,
By the way, before we go in, can I have everybody tell me their names?
Yeah, we'll do introductions.
My name is Jim Bloom.
Nope, you're not for the
your
rest
name
of the
was
campaign
Emrys.
now. You're the first time for the rest of the campaign now.
Okay. So you guys do your
I'm gonna have to rewrite all my notes.
I think we'll probably just go through generic introductions.
There you go. All right. Well, then with that, you guys make your way to this strange secret entrance, and that's also we're going to take a small little break. So this is a good chance for people to go and get yourselves your refill on whatever drinks you got for the night, and we'll be back with you in about 5-ish minutes.
All right.
so we're back on the air, and I now have my eggnog ready to go. So,
You.
You want to hear my eggnog? Here it comes.
uh-oh.
There it is.
There you go.
Here it is.
That's
I have
beautiful.
a root beer.
It's Coke before anyone wonders anything else.
I mean, no one's gonna
Kinda
judge you.
Coke.
I'm 19. All right, come on. I'm a child.
You're
This,
fine.
this is not Coke.
I have a root beer, so
All right, so marching order as you guys are going into this lovely little cave that you seem to have found. I have Surge and Marisol at the front, and I have Roman and Autumn, I think, in the middle. Is that right?
yep.
In that specific ordering, yes.
Okay, and then we have Lumina and Emery, or the other way around, or do we care?
Emery wanted to be at the back, I think, right?
Okay,
Because
He
wants
tried
the
to take
cactus.
some water earlier.
okay. Alrighty, well then, I think we are ready to shift our maps, so let's get you there. Hang tight one sec, guys. Sorry, you're gonna pull up our lovely maps. Should be good to go. Yeah, everything is being seen. Making sure that the vision is actually the. And I think we're almost there for you all. Alrighty. There we go. So you guys can tell me if you can see everything that you think you're supposed to see.
I see some people and a black void. So I think
Yes.
that's all I'm supposed to
That is pretty much exactly what you're supposed to see right now.
see.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then I see
So-
everything I'm supposed to see.
Alrighty. So, you get
Can
into.
I swap places with Lumina?
Yes, we can still do
Real
that.
quick.
Let's do that. Let's get. If Lumina's okay with
Basically, I just
Yeah,
want a
yeah.
person in between me and Marisol.
Ha. Okay.
Understandable.
That's the goal right now.
There we go. As you enter, you doesn't take long. Only about 40 feet into this tunnel. The tunnel was really narrow or really short on your way in, and then it opens up to about 10 feet. And it's still quite a ways underneath the city wall, mind you, but you don't see the city wall. You don't have to go through wall at all. It just is this dugout, basically. That's about 10 feet tall. And you have a door, a set of two doors sitting in front of you that you guys get to. I'm gonna get Surge and Marisol, both of you guys, while you're right there, to do a quick perception check for me, please.
So another technical question.
Yes,
Is dark down here?
it is dark down here.
Because I don't have dark vision.
Have I given you dark vision?
I don't think so.
You can. What can?
It's all
what can you
good.
see?
I don't think water genasi have dark vision.
And they don't.
They don't. Fire are the only ones that get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's perception check.
Yeah. No, you got what you're supposed to see there. I think so.
It's all
Okay,
good, guys. I'll
so-
cover.
So Marisol, what you hear on the other side is some moaning, some pouting, crying kind of sound, a little bit of mutters through the doorway. You also do see a little bit of light, kind of trying to peek through the cracks of the doorway, but it's not much. Surge, you pretty much only see the light. You don't hear anything on the other side, but Marisol hears the moaning and crying on the other side.
I turn to the rest of the group. There's definitely captives in there. We go in, we're fighting guardsmen, so non-lethal, correct?
If we can avoid lethality, I believe we should. Yes.
And we're not using names in there. The less people know that it's us and can recognize us by a name, the better.
I don't think I've told you.
So should we have nicknames?
Just go by initials. That's all we need.
I don't even think we need to do that, depending on.
You
what's going
got
on.
it. I don't know your initials.
Um,
Yes. I'm waiting.
That's all. That's all you need to know.
Just as a quick question before we dive into untold peril, everyone can see all right, right?
Yeah,
Now
no
that-
problem.
Now that you mention it, do you happen to have a torch?
No.
I have the perfect thing for you. And I take out my lantern.
We tried to be stealthy.
If we ever need it, but
Well, and you
It's
know
getting
that there
heavy.
is. You do know that there's light on the other side there too, Serge. You
Yeah.
saw the light kind of peeking through the door.
but for an
I'm
escape
just
route, I don't
asking
want you
for
to trip either.
Yeah.
So hold
Roman,
on.
Yeah.
Roman, you've been trying to say something, and it's kind of tough to get your sounds through. I guess. What were you trying to say?
No, I haven't tried to say anything. Maybe my microphone picking up something. Might be my breathing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Marisol, you kind of take a quick peek at the door, and you do know that notice that the door is locked.
Look to Surge and Lumina. Got thieves' tools. We can bash it otherwise.
I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Okay, go ahead and do. Do you have thieves' tools proficiency?
Yes, I do. I also have the
Yeah.
tools. Added a dex.
Go for it. Ooh. Yeah.
Also, Lady Luck predicted my dice rolls wrong.
So, you try to jimmy the lock, and unfortunately, your thieves' tools actually snap. You're able to get the part that snapped in the lock out, but your thieves' tools are no longer really all that useful anymore, unfortunately.
Damn it. Piece of crap.
I can't help but notice that the door isn't open yet. Do you need assistance?
I think you could see a bit better in the dark than he can.
But there's so many people in the way.
Go ahead and just move it around. If you move
That's fine.
yourself up to the front, that's what we'll do here. Is we'll get you up to the front.
Let's pretend I'm in front of them. Ah.
There you go. And it feels like this should have been an easy one to unlock, and so you basically put the thieves' tools in fairly quickly. You find the right place to just lift, and you lift the tumblers very quickly, and the doors open free. And it didn't like that. Let me try that again. There we go. There we go. See, as you open up the door, there's some cells that you can see kind of across the way, right off the top before you go in. The one prisoner that is there isn't really noticing you quite yet. You do see, and you haven't seen much else, but you do see basically straight across, there is a door directly out in front of you as well. So, door right here, and then you see this one prisoner here as well.
Can I slowly sneak up to the corner?
Yeah.
Take a glance around.
Sure, and then go ahead and do that, and roll yourself a perception check. All right. So with that perception check, you do see that there are a few prisoners in there. None of them are female. There's one in the corner cell that looks wild-eyed, and you've seen this kind of expression, Emery, before. This person is not in their right mind. They don't have their faculties about them. Everybody else is just really badly beaten or bruised, and now that you're there, you're trying to sneak. So I guess we should do a stealth check real quick too. Huzzah! Okay, yeah. So they haven't noticed you yet. Yeah, they haven't noticed you at all yet. But yeah, you do see some prisoners. None of them female though, and all of them humanoid at the very least. But human in size.
This guy?
Mm-hmm. He's the wild-eyed, crazed-looking fella.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I figured it was like one of these guys. But okay. Hmm.
I'm gonna slip in after Emery's. Quietly.
Okay. May as well go for everybody rolling out a stealth check real quick.
I was hoping this wouldn't happen just yet, but okay.
Roman is definitely going to be one of the last people in, so...
I had a plan, and this has ruined it.
That's all right.
Or at least I had something.
This is a pre-roll.
Okay.
Roman, you think your guys are bad? You think your guys are bad?
I have disadvantage.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Oh, my
I
God.
rolled a negative number. My
Hello?
Alright.
I'm the other stealther. I was gonna come in. Apparently, this is.
Apparently, we all tripped.
Wow. Okay,
Hence
so
why Roman is the last one in.
so you guys haven't started moving in quite yet. Emery is just still sneaking. This was a pre-roll, so I could be prepared for what's coming. So now I'm prepared. Emery, what were you gonna do?
Can I use minor illusion?
Ooh,
This is
okay.
both to help my clumsy as fuck party, and
I don't know
to
what you're
maybe
talking
try and
about.
cause a distraction. I'm gonna cause minor illusion,
Okay.
kind of beyond this door, because it says I don't have to see the location, just
Yeah, it just has to be in
a
range.
place
eh?
within range. So I'm gonna create like a sound of like shouting, basically. There's some like shouting sounds kind of like fighting, you know?
Okay.
Fighting men is that?
Fighting men sounds? Okay. Let's
Yeah,
see
kinda, you know.
here. All right, I gotta do something here real quick then. Let's see here. What? This will be in. Boy.
They can make an intelligence investigation check to determine if it's real or fake.
That's what I'm trying to do. I've got to pull up a quick stat block here that I apparently don't have handy, and I thought I did. There we go. This guy will work. Okay. So, this will be that. Yeah, okay. So you make the sound, and you can hear the sound on the other side. But you don't really notice anything else result of the sound yet.
So it's standard fare. Okay, I tried. Now in comes the squad.
How are things going in there, Emery's?
Thought you could use a hand.
I'm sure it'll come in handy later.
Okay, so what you do, like you hear the sounds that you produce on the opposite side, but nothing else happens on that side. That being said, the prisoners do actually hear the sounds themselves, and they look up and they see you, and now you can. One of them actually, oh, please, let us out. Get us out of here. And now they're all starting to kind of speak louder and raise up a bit of a ruckus. Particularly
Are there not-
looking fella.
Are there not guards in this room?
Not any that you've seen yet.
I figured these guys were.
No, that's behind. They're behind bars.
Oh,
That fella's
There's
behind
still a
bars.
door down here.
I
Is this a door?
completely
Yep, that is a door
misunderstood
there.
what was going on.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
yeah,
they're
there
probably
is a
back
door
there.
there.
Maybe.
Okay. That was fun. Pointless. I guess I'll just go check out this door, I guess.
Okay,
Since
well,
apparently there's nobody else in the room.
As you reach it, the door does open because now those prisoners have made some noise.
Yeah, I figured.
And on the opposite side, that is where you come across a guard coming out to check it out. And he opens the door, and there you are, right there. And he's, oh! And immediately... And so now that we've got this door opened, let's roll some initiatives. Because immediately he's gonna start. He's
We're
gonna want to
very
swing
good
that
at
thing.
our job.
Alrighty.
And I am the
Oh
best.
my gosh. Roman.
So my 5th natural one today.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, please don't turn this into another flicker. Please.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly hope not. That was so aggravating to play that character.
Alright, let's do
This is just the day for 8s for me.
And that, and then let's see here.
I genuinely don't think it's possible to roll lower than me, so.
Alrighty. Did that roll? It did roll. Good. Okay, so. Then, hello, Fortzuma. I'm glad you're enjoying. On Twitch. That's not the right button. We're going to go instead over to... There we go. Turn trackers.
Love
And
how I'm
so-
still listening.
There we go. Lumina is first up to the initiative.
Well, jeez. Okay. I'm gonna do my trusty gust spell and try to put out those candles. Can I do that?
Ooh, okay, yeah, go for it. It's just your gusts. That it's just an effect.
It's
on
in
it,
30
so-
feet range. Yeah, it just blows some air.
Okay, which
You feel a warm breeze at
candles
your
in
back.
particular?
The ones that are like right next to Emery.
Okay.
Will that
Alright,
help him
It
not get
might.
hit?
You don't know.
Okay.
All right, where is that? I know I put it out there somewhere, so just yeah, cool. All right, those candles are now blown out. Is that the end of your turn then, or you got movement and things like that too?
I do have movement. Just go here and see if there's any more guards coming out the door.
Okie doke.
I got my crossbow to whack him.
Okay, so at that door, let's see here. That door is not locked, so if you decide you're going to open it up, we'll open it up.
Not yet.
Okay. Does that end your turn then?
Yes.
Emery, you're up. Interesting music happening here now too.
I guess I'm just gonna. I mean, diplomacy failed. My hello did not. It fell on deaf ears. So I'm gonna.
Maybe if you followed it by a there, maybe you would have gotten somewhere.
Hello there. It's time to with no weapons in his hands. Like in a flash of motion, there's 2 daggers that he pulls out and takes swipes at the guard.
All right. Ooh, that looked really close to a 1 there for me. All right, that's good.
I don't have sneak attack. It's sad. Here's
Okay.
the damage.
All right. Ooh, 7 points of piercing damage. All right. Yeah, you get a good solid shot up in his ribs, and it's you feel like you probably hit something fairly important.
Good. Non-lethally, I hope.
Okay,
1 damage.
1 damage. Okay, yeah. You basically just kind of give him a little bit of an extra scratch on across the shoulder, we'll say.
And can I? Is this still with it? I know the door is narrower than the 5 feet, so can I stand here? Is that fine?
Yep, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Or
Yeah. And you're gonna attempt.
just now I can't see him.
Well, yeah,
I've already used my bonus
you
action, so
already used your bonus. Okay, good. All right, so that'll end your turn then.
yes.
All right. Well, that brings us up to another guard who pushes past his friends to get to you, and closing that window. It's not really smart of me. Let's keep that sucker open. And let's see what happens when he takes his spear. He hasn't quite got himself put together yet to carry this with 2 hands. So, Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Oh!
All right, pal. All right,
Okay.
mister.
That's 8 points of damage to you then.
All right, pal.
And that will end
Nice
his
knowing
turn.
you, Emery.
Um, the
Oh, fuck.
there is
Oh,
a large dog, if you will, that you kind of hear, kind of step in, stepping through. Yeah, he can go this far. He doesn't actually see you, Emery, so you could actually get an attack of opportunity on Doggo.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, that hits.
I'm hurting the doggo. It's too
No.
late.
Oh, that's so much damage.
It's just the 6, right? Just one of those?
Yeah, I don't know why I rolled twice.
Oh, twice. That's kind of good. All right, so yeah, you also get a good solid swipe across, it kind of across his back, and you hear it yelp, and it kind of turns to look at you and realizes what had just happened, and changes his direction and does kind of with a bite. Must learn how to spell.
So about my backup character Jimlin, right? We might need a frontliner.
I thought we had 2.
Wow.
I'm not
Alright,
gonna
you
rogue
have
for a frontliner.
He has yet to get into combat.
Does a 13 hit?
No, a 13 misses.
All right, so it snaps at you, but you dodge out of its way. Our next 2 guards are happening at the same time. Oop, I went and clicked too much. They're not going to be able to push through, though, so they're just going to stick right here. And that will get us up to Surge's turn.
Okay, I can-
before Surge. I'm not even on the thing.
Yeah, he is
because
before me.
you get
Yeah,
past you on
okay.
accident. You're there.
You are before
It's your
you?
turn.
Okay.
Oh, did
Yeah,
I?
I'm 912.
Oh, look at that. I
Autumn
just
gets
super
moved.
clicked. Okay, my bad. So, Autumn, you're up.
All right, cool. Let's see. I'm gonna move through Roman here. Let's see, 1, 2. I can exist on someone else's space, right?
That's only for halflings.
No.
They can only move through their space. Also,
Yeah.
you can. The rules are like you can move through people's space at half speed,
Yeah.
but halflings can do it for free or something. No, they could. Yeah.
Sort of.
I think they
actually-
get to do it for free.
It's actually more
Not for
so
extra
along the
movement,
lines
I
of
mean.
halflings can actually share spaces, which means they can stop in the same space as somebody else. You
I
can move
was
past
playing to-
friendlies.
It says you can move through the space, not stand in the same space. So
Right. Yeah, for anybody who's not a halfling. Yep.
I thought it was you couldn't end your turn there, but whatever.
No,
It's all good.
whatever.
Guess I'm not doing a whole lot. I guess I'm dashing.
All right. So where are you going to?
Going to right here.
Okie doke.
That's my turn.
Alrighty, then we're on to Surge.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try
Also,
and move up to the dock.
No,
Yes.
it's too late. Make different decisions.
Hopefully that stops me there. No, 20 is so slow. And gonna try and stab it with my rapier.
Okay.
If I rolled another 8, I'm gonna be so angry.
Nope, you hit it. Oh, doggo. So you get your rapier, and you basically skewer it right through the side, and you feel it go through a few things. And doggo is dusted.
Thought it was Deado.
No.
All right.
Yeah, can I step over the quartz and stop in its space or no?
Yes, you totally can. Just let me.
Okay,
bring
then
it
I'm
up
totally
first.
doing that because I know there's guards there, even though I can't see very well.
Okay. Well, you are right
And-
beside a guard, right?
I figured, but that's my turn. I can't do anything else.
Okie doke. And that brings us to Marisol.
Let's go help Emery's. So I'll run over here and make a couple attacks on the guard here at advantage because flanking. Wait, we use flanking, right?
Yeah, we use flanking.
Sweet.
Ooh. Yeah. So we get 2 hits, and they are 9 points total of damage. Now, it's two-handed, meaning that you can't actually do the unarmed strike afterwards. So you have to do the one-handed one if you're going to do that.
I'll use just the one roll then.
Okay, so then the 5 points of damage to this here guard. You give him a spear, and basically you saw the rapier, and you kind of did the same thing. You even aimed for a similar spot on this guard and managed to turn him into a temporary shish kebab.
Can it be non-lethal damage by chance?
Yeah, non-lethal is if you break them down to just to 1 hit point, then, or if you go past all of their hit points, we just stop it at 1, and we'll just make sure that you pull your punch for that particular spot and basically get them down to the point where they're going to have to surrender or go unconscious or something to that effect.
I guess for this combat then I'm using the blunt end of my spear.
Fair enough. Okay. Does that end your turn then?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, Roman, I'm enjoying 0.93. Okay,
Yep.
so we have a guard here, though. This
Prepare for
guard
more
has...
of them in the future.
This guard has actually just been slashed a bunch by Emery, and so he's going to attack Emery as well in response. One-handed, because he hasn't got himself quite put together yet to realize that he could actually hold onto his spear properly. Does hit and causes you 3 more points of damage across your shoulder. And he can't move.
Why did they have advantage again?
He doesn't. It's just rolling to default too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I'm always taking the left one for first roll.
Okay.
And that'll end his turn anyway, so it's now Rowan's turn.
Hey, I finally get to go. What do you know? All right. Well, I'm gonna step here into the room, see all the crazy people. Is this guy is a prisoner right here, correct?
He is a prisoner, yes. He's behind bars.
Okay. So it's just the people there on the other side of stairs that we're fighting. All right.
Yes.
Well, Emery's not looking too hot, so I'm gonna hit him with a healing word real fast.
Very good.
There it is.
How much do you heal? Ooh,
7.
that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So okay, healing word is bonus action. So can I cast a cantrip as an action then? Or no, because they cast a spell.
No, because you can cast a cantrip, you can't cast another spell.
Yes, that I know. I know I couldn't cast another level spell. I just want to make sure that I was still able to cast a cantrip
Yes, absolutely.
before I tried doing something like that. All right then. I am going to Toll the Dead, that first guard, right there next to Surge.
Okay, this guy right here.
Yeah, so I need a wisdom
Oh,
wisdom
that's-
save. Yes,
Wisdom
save. That's
save.
the wrong button.
All right, here we go. Let's see here. First number, not the... So the 3
Hey, that's a fail.
is a
What
big
damage?
fail.
'Cause I can't see it on my screen.
You have to click your Toll the Dead thing. Or click your Toll the Dead button.
Oh. I did.
Or
Did not
it's
go through.
not. Interesting. Why is it
Let
not
me check
showing?
my. I checked. Is it not rolling?
That's right. I can also have a peek at that too.
What is this first thing?
Let's see here.
9.
Alrighty, let's have a look. See, Toll the Dead is a 1d12.
Yeah, so I'll
because
just
he is
roll the
already
D12
missing
and we'll
some.
figure it. Yeah, I'll roll the d12 just as is. Keep that,
Yep.
and I'll fix the damage on it in a second. I'm just gotta
Sure.
figure out why it's messed up.
This guy, he collapses to the ground in agony with now with the spell. Oh, can you go less lethal with spells? I'm gonna say yeah, you can. I'm gonna say that you can control it. So we're gonna go with, yeah. So he's now he falls prone underneath the pain of this massive sound in his ears and his ears only. Anything else for your turn?
That's my action and my bonus action. So.
And yeah, you've only done around 20 feet of movement, maybe 25.
I don't think I need to move anywhere as of right now, so I'm gonna stay right where I'm at.
All right. Top of the initiative, the Lumina. You notice that crazed fellow in the top right-hand corner here of this cell. He's actually now run up to the bars and is trying to reach out, and he's kind of just hissing at you and trying to claw at you. Can't reach you, but he's looking to hurt you. And it is your turn, Lumina.
I just sort of look at him for like a second, and then I put my finger to my lips and go like shh, and I try to peek. Can I just look through the door, open it slightly?
Yeah, you can open up the door for sure.
Does it open inwards or outwards, actually?
It opens inwards.
Okay. Yeah, so I try to see through the crack.
Inwards, outwards, I guess.
Towards me, or away from me?
Away from you. Cheapers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I nudge it open to see if there's any more guards on that side.
Okay. And I do not know if you can what you can see in there.
Is it dark in there?
It should be rather dark in there. Yeah.
She does have 2 torches next to her.
Yes, but those torches are lighting that room. They're casting shadows across the door frame, and that's pretty much it. So they're not. You can't actually see anything in there. There is. Well, no, there is light in there. So why can't you see that? That is.
Do I have to be on the other side?
Maybe you do.
There's like a permanent wall there, I think.
Yeah, let me see if I can do a tiny little adjustment. See things. There we go.
Yeah.
That's excellent. I can see through there.
A little bit.
There. Go with that. There, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you see into that space, it's a very large chamber, walls that look like they have been manufactured. You don't see much aside from a couple of like stalactite kind of pillars in the room. On the other hand, actually, you do happen to notice that there seems to be some sort of a machine shaped almost like an obelisk, made with well, it's pretty dark. You can't really see what it's made. There is a very large open chamber here.
Well, at the moment, the important thing is that doesn't seem to be anyone there. Okay.
Not from this point of view, no. I don't know what that background sound is.
That might be my brother, actually. He's on the other side of the room from me playing COD.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, okay.
Is it a warthog? What is this?
Emery, so not Emery, Lumina, you have opened up a door. That would be, I suppose, your action to check that place out. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
No, if that's my action, no.
When you were shushing that fella, were you doing it with any particular intent?
Well, I didn't know if there was anyone on the other side of the door yet, so I was trying to get him to be quiet and not bother me.
Okay. Well, why don't you roll an intimidation check just to see what happens?
Okay.
Yeah, he keeps on trying to claw at you. He doesn't even phase him.
All right, that's it.
All right, Emery, you're up.
Well, can I... Oh, there's a guy in the doorway, right?
Yes.
Can I hit him from around this corner, or do I have to walk into the space over here and then move?
No, I'd say you could probably get him from around the corner.
Okay.
You could actually, and a sneak attack would work because he's within melee from Marisol as well.
All right. Then dagger. All right. Well.
Oh yeah, you reach around the door, but he's able to parry it away.
This is why we have
knowing where you are.
offhand attack faults. All right. Well.
Yeah, you kind of do a spin to try to get around the corner again, but no dice. No pun intended.
I tried. That's my turn.
All right. This guard here, he's now prone, and basically been the equivalent of knocked unconscious. Oh, and Doggo's dead, so we can't have him in the initiative anymore. So there we go, guards.
No.
And both these okay, so this guard here is the one who's gonna try to step. He's gonna try and straddle his friend. Hang on, let's get you. He's gonna try and straddle his friend and go for. You know what? Who's the? It was. They think it was Surge who knocked him out, and so it's gonna be. They're gonna attack Surge, even though it wasn't. It was actually Roman. And two-handed this time around. He's had a chance to put himself together. To hit Marisol, it's a 5. And
Definitely doesn't hit.
Yeah, didn't think that would hit. The other guard, that's this guy here. He steps up and he's only been able to see Marisol so far, so he's free. Two-hand spear tries to jab at Marisol, and gets a 9. Gall. Alrighty.
I'm okay with these.
Yeah, right. Eh? Autumn, you're on.
All right. Lovely. Autumn, gonna move over to behind Surge. And he's gonna cast a magic spell.
Alright.
So his pointer finger is going to snap back suddenly in his hand and then kind of flick forward as he says Zezadud, and a stream of lightning shoot towards the guy right here. Strength save. Or be pulled towards me.
Through Surge. That'll be interesting. Alright, here we go. Strength save. Yeah, I'm
he
gonna guess
fails.
yeah, he fails totally.
Oh, sorry.
And so he
Specifically
gets
that.
pulled. Hang on. So you create lightning energy, and then take 1d8 lightning damage if it's within 5 feet.
He's not within feet. He's not within range of me.
Not yet, but you're trying to pull, basically
The
trying to pull
movement
him
happens
through
first.
Surge.
Yeah.
So Surge, can you roll me a strength check? Athletics. You know what, let's
athletics
you're right.
check.
It should be a save. You're right. It should be a save.
So strength or dex?
Strength. Oh yeah. Okay. So, the lightning kind of arcs past you and yanks this guard, but you're able to push him back. You didn't want him to actually go. You don't get shocked by it. But no, this creature does not. He does not actually get to within 5 feet of you, Autumn.
Yeah, I actually just kind of forgot how far the range of the zap was.
Aha.
So it's... Yeah. That's my turn.
Alrighty. Surge, you're up.
Alright, there's a guard in front of me. I'm going to do as Tibin does. Except instead of a great axe, it's a rapier.
It's a lot fancier, I would assume.
Oh, that hits.
Maybe more graceful. Probably not
Yeah,
fancier.
almost certainly. Almost
You get
certainly more
sneak attack
graceful.
because I have an ally within 5 feet.
Yes, you do, and he now is also kind of cowering on the ground with his friend as well. He's actually knocked out.
Yikes.
We'll say he's knocked out from the skewer you just gave him. Probably a collapsed lung in his case. Not completely, not unconscious completely, but certainly not able to do things.
Okay, and then I'm stepping forward again, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. If you are stepping forward, like to on top of where these two bodies are.
If I can.
You know what? Yeah, quick thing for you. Oh yeah, you can. For sure you can. Okay,
Okay.
Marisol.
Well, the thing in front of me is dead, or unconscious. I'll take a step back and walk over towards Zumina, and for the meantime, keep an eye on her and hold an action to strike anything that comes within 5 feet of her or me.
Okay. There is a guard that was within melee of you, so he's going to try and get you with an opportunity attack. And... I don't think either of those are going to hit, so...
No.
You easily get around his jab. And that ends your turn?
Yep.
All right, so we have another guard here who is still not able to get through things, so he's still just kind of... What's he going to do, actually? He just kind of steps out of the way. Okay, Roman, you're up.
Alright. I'm going to step here off to the side next to Odom. And I'm going to, again, toll the dead that guard standing there in front of the third. Hopefully I fixed my roll. I did.
That
there we go.
Works much better. Yeah. Okay, so...
Okay, and
wisdom
then
save on
specify
this guy. All right, here we go. Wisdom save. Oh, he does not. And so he takes...
I don't know if he's damaged or not, but it
He was
specifies
not.
on the damage. Okay, so he takes 7.
7 points of damage. First time he's... And so he gets that bell in his ears as well, and he just... He takes the spear and is now one hand. He tries to cover both ears. Not... end your turn, Roman?
Yes. That'll end
Okay.
my turn.
Okay. Lumina, you're up.
Okay. Sort of disturbed that the person just keeps on hissing at me. And she kind of reverts her gaze and looks back and starts walking through.
All right. Okay. So now you see this large, expansive chamber. And I'll give you the full description. Where is it? Where's my description? Okay, so looking across this chamber, you can see the walls. They're kind of in shambles. Far end of the chamber, you can't quite see because this light disappears. Are you trying to go in? Like, are you trying to be sneaky about this, or?
No, I didn't think anyone was in there, and I'm gonna, once I can't see anything, I might as well turn on my hat light.
Okay. And so what you
It's
do
just
see...
20 feet, yeah.
Okay, so let's get you your light. And let's see here. You are creating light. And it's 20 feet bright, 20 feet dim beyond that. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. You should now be producing a whole bunch of light.
Yep.
And you do now
working.
see there is a cage in the middle of this room, and it's surrounded by... There's a whole bunch of different strange obelisks. They're black in shape, or black in color. There is a young gnome woman in a gray tunic sitting on the floor in that cage. Her back is currently to the door, and she's rocking back and forth, kind of with her head in her hands, kind of whisper, "Can't run away, can't run away, can't run away." And as soon as you are aware of this, something lashes out at you.
If this is what madness looks like.
Hang on, let's get this right. There we go. And that
What
is...
is?
There's something on the wrong layer here. That's funny. Let me get that thingy on the correct layer here. There we go. So this... I'm going to pull his stats up. This will be their held action. Let's see here. Where did that go? Okay. Held action. Snaps out at you with their... Ooh, and it hits. I'm sure that a 20 is going to hit you, right?
Yeah.
So this large, weird snake-like looking creature. Problem is, it doesn't have eyes and it doesn't have your regular mouth. It has a beak instead, and 4 long tentacle type things coming out from around the beak with points on either end. Reaches out from around one of those black obelisks, and swipes out at you. Causing, and the beak actually takes a chunk out of your arm. 8 points of damage. And we'll now get them into the you get them in the initiative on the next round.
Yeah, I used my action already, so.
Yeah.
We had someone in my way. Oh, there's one in the doorway. I can see if I peek around. Oh, I didn't mean to step on your toes. I'll just keep swiping.
All right. So
I'll say
that one
assume
does hit.
no. Ah,
You realize now, as
All
you do
right.
hit, they haven't had enough time to put their armor on.
where's my
Oh.
amazing damage?
And yeah, he now is knocked unconscious as well, because you're going less lethal still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can actually see through that doorway now into the next room. You're pretty certain the person in the other room is now actually trying to gather something on the table.
Well, I'm gonna run it.
Alrighty.
Go here.
And so yeah, you do
That's-
see basically beds, a table that it looks like they were playing bone dice with a couple of coins on the table for that matter as well, and you're pretty certain you saw him try to pick up some keys.
All right.
Does that end your turn then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that guy's gone. That guy's gone. Oh, look at that! All those guards are already knocked unconscious. Look at that, it's already Autumn's turn.
All right. I guess I'm gonna go see what's going on with Lumina.
Alright.
And I'll dash.
Alright. And as you dash in, you do see that strange beaked snake-like thing as it basically, just as it chomps off at Lumina, taking a gouge out of her arm.
Alright, and I'm here now.
Alright. That ends your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Surge, you're up.
Okay, is there anybody still standing around me?
Not immediately around you. You will have noticed that there was another person in that room that Emery just went into.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for them.
Okay, so
Dang it.
you'll step over a couple of bodies.
That's fine. 20 will move me. I do apologize. Technical stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, technical.
Boom.
Yes, Spider Duck. All right, so that was a yeah, okay. You knock him unconscious as well, and he drops the keys as he falls to the ground. Still going for less lethal, is that right, Serge?
Yes.
Okay.
And can I use my bonus action to pick the keys up?
Sure, we'll say that you can do that.
Okay, so I've got the keys. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okie doke. Marisol.
I was intending to keep an eye on Lumina, so I'll keep doing that.
Okay.
Please don't hurt me.
So now you actually. Okay. So you can, from where you are, well, Autumn got in there first, but you can, from where you are, you can now see that snake-like creature as well. And you do see it just as both you and Autumn kind of approach Lumen as she's getting her arm chomped.
Okay. All right. Can I attempt to vault over these two and get to there?
You're going to try and vault over a dwarf and Lumina
Yeah.
to get there. Let's go for a... This would be an acrobatics check, as I'm guessing, then. To see if you can use them to your advantage for your movement.
Autumn's mildly cowering, if that helps.
That did not mean to be rolled advantage. Do you want me to roll again?
No, that's okay. I'll take that first number there. So...
Oh no.
You try to...
Out of my initiative.
Yeah, you try to do a vault off of Autumn, expecting that he is a sturdy dwarf, as dwarves should be. However, Autumn immediately cowers and drops his stature, and what you thought was going to be solid purchase ends up disappearing underneath your hands, and so you end up being basically prone here, we'll say.
I roar. Why did you duck?
Marisol just tackled me. Tried to tackle me.
The scary lady's doing scary lady things. Fine.
All right. That will be your movement. You still have a action and bonus action. Sorry, not action. No, you still have your action and bonus action if you have something for it.
Can I say movement to stand up? So I'll just stay here.
Just kind of pout like, why? Okay, so Robin, you're up.
Hey, what do you know? I'm actually doing a thing. I don't particularly want to get involved with whatever is going on between Odom and Marisol. And it seems as though Serge and Emery have things covered. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go over to here, and start getting these guards out of the way of this doorway, so we can actually walk.
All right, so I'm gonna say that you're just gonna try and line them up against the wall, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get them out of the doorway.
All right.
I might give if one of them tries to fight me, I might slug them, but that's about it. I'm not gonna try and do anything crazy.
Nah, we're gonna say they're unconscious anyway, so we'll just say that you're able to get these two pulled up, and with 6 seconds around, you can yank these two guys over. Actually, we should probably do a strength check to make sure you can actually do both of them, because it wasn't a lot of movement that you had to get there.
Yeah.
Would have been
All right.
10, 20, 30. No, you know what? Actually, with your movement and the half and the half speed rules that go with dragging something, your movement would have been able to do this anyway, so you don't need to roll it.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Okay. That ends your turn. Lumina.
Uh-huh. So this thing's right next to me, so I'm just gonna try to grab it by the neck with
Oh
21. Okay, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, that hits. 7 points of damage.
Yeah. Give it a little shock and here.
Dare you say shock and awe?
Hang on. Is it no, it's not a spell save.
She just
Nope, it's an attack.
No,
No,
it's
it's an
not. It's an
attack,
attack. I don't know. Ignore that. I'm just putting it out there so that you could see that it's
I gotcha. Okay, we're good. We're
it
good.
can't take reactions. Is what I'm trying to say.
Ooh, no more reactions. That's a
So
good thing.
I'm trying to run away.
Hang on.
I'm not right next to it. It can't give me an opportunity attack, pretty much.
Okay, cool. All right, so
Mhm.
yeah, you give it a jolt, and you can see the lightning kind of go down. It's not really a standard spine that you would have expected with a snake. It's mostly ribs that you notice that are lit up like fireworks by your shocking grasp.
Okay.
That ends your
Actually,
turn.
Yeah, I'm just standing like next to the cage.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, Emery, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna look at Surge and be like, "You got this." I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash.
Okay.
And go here. And then I'm gonna bow the Drick.
Alrighty.
The power of Rogue.
Yes, it is. Okay. Shoot that sucker.
So
It's
that hits.
sneak attack too. Yeah. Ooh. You get a good solid shot that goes basically right through the back of its head? Question mark. And you're pretty certain it would have skewered right through his mouth. Let's see here. Minus 14, because it was not expecting that. It would have had its vision looking away from you, probably following Lumen as she ran away. And your turn?
Alrighty. Yep.
All right, and it is Autumn's turn.
So just so I'm fully aware, this is a little person trapped in a cage.
Yes, she's facing away from you, facing towards Lumina as of now. Hands in her head. Her head is in her hands, and she's kind of rocking back and forth, whispering somewhat incoherently.
All right. I'll move here,
All right.
and then I'm gonna lightning lure the thing.
Okie doke. This is a
Save.
save. What kind of save are we going for? Find it.
Strength.
There we go.
Cool. And then it takes damage.
Right. How much damage?
Whether or not this, for whatever reason, did not want to roll it. Cool.
So that is going to be 1d8. Haha, 4 points of damage.
Zap.
Alrighty.
Wouldn't that add your spell attack bonus?
No, it does
no.
not.
Oh,
No,
my bad.
because it's a guaranteed hit if they're next to me.
Right. Okay.
The save
so,
is purely for pulling.
yeah, and really, honestly, it still hits. So,
Mhm.
it's got up. You could see its ribs one more time, but it is still up. End your turn, Autumn?
Yep.
Surge, you're on.
All right, let's see if I can get back out here and see what in the world's going on.
You probably just hear thunder rumbling from this room.
6. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to use my action to dash.
Okay. You can move past friendlies if you want.
Yeah, and I'll stop here.
Okay.
That's about all I can do.
Well, you're now in melee with this sneaky-looking thing, which currently has one of Emery's arrows in the back of its head.
That's fine.
It is Marisol's turn.
I'd like to stand up, shoot Autumn a bit of a glare, step forward, and hopefully hit the shit out of this thing.
All right. Roll them up. The first, your spear, it kind of parries it away with one of its own tentacles, but then you go to strike it, and let's see here. You hit it, but it feels much more solid than you think it should. And so what would have definitely caused more damage to somebody else doesn't cause as much damage to this guy. It's just it feels solid.
Well, that's frustrating. That's it for me.
All right, Roman, you're up.
Okay. Seems everybody has moved, so I guess I'm still on body duty. I'm just gonna move these guards to wherever, and these other ones that have been knocked unconscious recently to wherever.
Okay,
Just out of the doorway.
Sure. So there's this guy here. We're gonna hold him up against a prison bar, a cage. Then.
That's fine. Maybe not next to the. Wait. Can that particular person reach through the bars at that guard, or no?
Probably, but he does not look like he's in any shape to do anything at all.
Even still, Roman is hesitant. I would at least put the guard away from the cage, even if he's just in the middle of the floor. Just as long as he's out of the doorway and not next to the cage.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 25. I'm going to say that you can get him to about there, trying to drag him out. Or maybe... Well,
that's fine.
Yeah, okay, okay. All right. And that ends your turn then?
Yeah, because I don't think I have any movement left, so.
That's right. Unless you were to dash.
No. Well, I think my action would be to move the guy.
Okay, fair enough then. Lumina, you're
up. Okay, I'm gonna just duck down behind the cage and try to rattle the door or something. Pull it open. Like, is it locked tight?
It is indeed locked.
Okay. I guess as I'm holding the cage, I kind of lean around the corner and shoot a little firebolt at the Grick, you said?
It is a Grick, yes. Oh, that hits.
Okay. I'm pretty lucky today. It's a 4.
Oof. Yeah, that last firebolt, it splashes against it, and you actually see one of its tentacles burn off from the firebolt, and it's now only got 3 of these tentacle things protruding from the beak. It's looking pretty messed up.
Okay, I duck back behind the cage a little bit.
Okay.
That's it.
And just so you're aware, this cage is really only barely tall enough for an average human, probably 5'8", to stand up in. It's really short. Velona's it's a gnome that's sitting in there right now, and so she's comfortably able to sit. But if it was an actual regular human being in there, there wouldn't even be enough space to sit. So, and she is still burying her head in her hands.
Does she look hurt?
To look up.
Sorry.
Yes, she looks really badly hurt. She actually looks like she's been badly hurt for quite some time, and you almost get the same vibe from her. You know what? Roll an insight check. We can actually do this while you're sitting right beside her. This can work. And then while she's doing that, Emery, go ahead and do your turn. Yeah, Lumina, you get the sense that she's probably having her faculties challenged just as much as that one freaked out dude that was trying to reach at you did.
Okay.
All right. Less lethal or not?
I'm probably killing this thing. I don't like, it's a weird monster thing.
All right, go ahead and tell me how you do it.
Just want to shoot an arrow down its weird throat thing to its mouth.
All right.
Simple and effective.
Yeah, so look at you having, and the others around you having kind of received an onslaught from them. And you now actually see the angle of the mouth just enough that you can actually aim straight in there, and you do. It's not, your sneak attack isn't quite as damaging because it could actually see you this time. but it definitely does the job, and it kind of does this weird hissing and gurgling, and then just kind of collapses flat on the ground. Very much not alive. And that is where our combat has now ended. All right, so at this point in time, I'm going to kind of give everybody a chance to tell me what their characters would probably do next, and then I'll resolve it all at once afterwards.
Autumn's having a mild panic attack.
Okay.
Did someone grab the keys? Because I was going to go grab the keys.
Holds up the keys, but doesn't
Okay.
give them to you.
I wasn't asking for them, but okay. Just a question. I don't know what I would do.
I take a step back, plant my hands on my knees, and just take a moment to catch my breath.
I'm just gonna try to calm. I'm guessing this is Valona down.
Yes. Okay. And Roman.
If she, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Louis.
Once
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
go
Roman.
ahead. No, go ahead and finish it, because I'm not doing anything special.
I'm just gonna tell her that her papa's looking for her. That's how I'm trying to calm him down. That's all.
Okay. Roll for me let's go with a persuasion check on this one.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So you reach through the cage bars, and gently grasp her hands and lift her hands down, or pull her hands down, kind of encouraging her to look up a little bit as she's still kind of rocking. Can't get away. And you say exactly that you're trying to, that you're here from her father, and you're trying to help her out. And she does. She immediately takes a little bit of a relaxing breath and kind of looks around, but still doesn't talk, still doesn't really engage with you too much.
Okay. Let's continue with what people were doing.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You guys go ahead and describe it.
I think once I get the guards out of the way, I'm going to go assist Lumina with calming down our new friend. So, whether I'm here or wherever, probably here, something like that.
Okay.
And I would like to ask Emery's if he's okay.
I'm a little scratched up, but I should be fine.
I can tell you took quite a beating.
Lucky hit, you know how it is. Thank you for wondering. I am concerned about the guards because they have seen at least my face, and they're kind of alive. So unless they get amnesia, kind of a problem. But we have bigger issues at hand. So,
Emery, roll a perception check for me, please. Okay.
Did the cards have keys?
I looked at Surge.
Yeah, Surge currently has them.
Start like swinging them around on one finger.
Roman will glare at Surge and basically very bluntly ask her if she would like to be paid.
He.
My bad. He, correct.
See,
yeah.
it's my
That's
fault
my
too.
bad.
It's all good.
No, I get it. Sounds are weird because player and character don't have the same ones.
Fine.
Yes, I'd like to be paid. I'm sorry. I have the keys. See?
I can see that. We need them.
What would you like me to unlock?
This is your friend here, isn't it?
Lumina, she doesn't know Vilona.
Oh, gee, I completely got this wrong. All right. Well, if you want, why was Serge coming with us? Because they had another friend here, or what?
So he was getting
Because I
paid.
knew where the dungeon was.
Oh, my
There's just
bad.
knew where to go. So
My bad.
I'll-
My bad.
I'll start trying the keys on the cage with the no girl in it.
I straighten up and look at Serge. When you're done with that, let's go try the other keys. It might do us some good if we use a prison escape to cover up our tracks.
Good idea. And I keep flipping through keys. Do I find one that works?
Yeah, yes, you do. You definitely find one that works.
Yeah, then I unlock it and let her out.
Okay. And so Lumina, actually, I'm gonna take us off the map for now, because I think we can do the rest of this by way of theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Huzzah, okay. And look at all the cool buttons I get to press. Okay. All right. So, with that, you are able to coax comfortably with that really awesome persuasion check, coax the gnome out of the cage, and basically end up picking her up to carry her. She's not heavy. She's just a gnome. And so, Lumina, you're the one carrying her right now, if that's okay by you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And anything in particular you guys decide you're going to do before you start to make your way out of this place?
Yeah, I'm gonna do what Marisol
look pretty. Go for it.
I was gonna do what Marisol said and start letting everybody out except for the
So-
super crazy person.
Okay.
Do we know they're not all like the super crazy person?
Do we want our tracks covered, or do we want them coming knocking at the tea kettle?
I mean, why would they go there?
We're a bit infamous at this point.
It's not like we're exactly, inconspicuous.
And as you say that, and you start walking into that main room with the cages and the prisoners in it, you notice an extra humanoid in the room, with their arrow trained directly on Emery, and a very stern look behind behind the expression of an elf. She says, "You better put the gnome down and leave. You will not take her anywhere and torture her more. There might be more of you, but you will not survive this fight if you try to take her." And looking at her, you realize, no, this one's definitely not like the guards. She's got a little bit more behind her.
Did he not trust us?
This
Are
is
you
a different human.
serious?
This is, or sorry, not even a human. This is a different elf.
No, no,
altogether.
no, the gnome. The gnome.
Oh,
Did he not trust us to do jobs? I don't know what accent I did there. That was weird. But my point still stands.
okay. And the elf hears that. And what? Who?
You want her?
Father.
Who
What
are
is it?
you?
The elf kind of looks kind of confused.
It was
You're
a
not-
gnomish man named Rillo.
And she look of understanding and recognitions. Oh, and she pulls her bow back. She releases her grip or her direction on the bow and brings it back down and unknocks the arrow, puts it back into her quiver. She says, "Her father got involved. Did he? Fair enough. This is. You were hired by Rillo, you say?"
He's the one footing the bill.
Well,
Yes. What concerns it to you?
Well, I don't know much about Rillo, but that there is my friend, Vilona. And, well, it appears as though you have beat me to getting her out of here. Who are you, anyway?
I already asked you that question.
Apologies. My name is Olivia. I'm a bit at a loss for words. I didn't expect to have to come in and not do anything, frankly. I was certain this was going to be much more combative. Go ahead and roll. Emery, I'm going to get you to roll the perception check this time, because you're the one that she had her arrow on. Oh, okay. Okay, so what you're seeing here is a fair-skinned wild elf. She's a little bit shorter than you, but not by much. She's wearing a red robes. They're tied by a kind of a woven leather belt. She has a symbol of a couple of brooches on her. Actually, one of them is a gauntlet, basically, and the other one is a circle with that looks like it's a compass rose from on a map, and it's got 8 points on it, not just 4. And her stern expression when she was looking at you has softened considerably. And you, what are your names? Who are you?
Come find us at
no.
Are there bodies left of the guards? Still,
Yeah,
like
the
they're
guards are still there,
asleep,
yeah.
right?
They're unconscious. Yeah, unconscious for all intents and purposes.
They only look dead. We should get out of here while we still can.
She said. She kind of looks over to the Black Fist that are on the ground. She says, "Oh, no, don't worry about them. Do any of you have some means by which we can bind them?"
I have some silk rope.
You sure you want to part with that permanently?
Oh,
I have some
Sure,
regular rope
documentation.
if someone will reach into my pocket or in my backpack. I don't really think I need it, honestly.
Why don't we just put them in the cells?
That's true.
And she looks. Who was it that said that one, by the way?
Marisol.
Okay, she looks to Marisol. Says, "Oh, wise point. Fair enough." And she goes to help you unlocking the cells. And as she does so, you'll have to forgive me. I'm caught off guard. I'm not often done, so you've done a good job of it. But Vilona is a young member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and she was on a mission for us, and seems to have gotten captured, if you will. And I don't know what information they would have gleaned from her. They were supposed she looks like she's an outright mess. And she's still kind of gibbering a little bit. She's not really altogether there yet. She's just calmed down in Lumina's arms, kind of hugging onto Lumina, but not really making much sense.
What would I know?
Sorry, Roman, go ahead.
Does she seem overly scared or frightened or something like that? That she's kind of talking gibberish?
Something along those lines, yes. Lumina,
Can I try something?
You could try something.
It was me.
Okay. What were you saying there? Hang on, before you do that, Roman. What were you saying?
I was wondering what I know about the Order of the Gauntlet.
Ah, okay. Let's go for a history check then. Go ahead, Roman, while you're doing that too.
I want to take one of her hands and cast heroism on her.
Interesting. Can you post that for me,
Because
please?
that makes her immune to the frightened condition. And she gets some temp HP.
Well, all right. Cool. Then, yeah, she kind of a little bit of what seems to have been a stupor, looks at Luminous, and she kind of pushes herself almost out of Lumina's hands to get back onto her feet now that she's going. What's your spellcasting ability modifier?
+4.
Okay, so she's at that health, not at the other one I put in there. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so and she lands on her feet, but that she's still experiencing a bit. Then she says, "Who are you?" And Marisol, what you remember of the Order of the Gauntlet, it's one of the many factions you're familiar with, particularly having been among the Zents. The Order of the Gauntlet is kind of the polar opposite, if you will, of the Zents, in that they are they do still try to do some good for the communities, but they don't do so with self-serving. To also be populated by people who have some wealth about them, but generally speaking, they're a faction of do-gooders, and do-gooders mostly for with no concerns for profit, just concerns more for honor, prestige, respect, perhaps.
Huh, I joined the wrong group.
You were, you were on a mission, were you? We know you took something, or you were supposed to, at least.
She says, "Yes." And she immediately drops down to her feet and starts pulling off her boot. And she reaches underneath her foot and peels something away from her foot. And underneath her foot, you now see that she was holding she had hidden a map on the bottom of her foot, and she was now pulling it out and opening up the map. She says, "Okay, good. They didn't get it. I must get out of here." And she starts to step towards the door, and that's when she sees Olivia. She says, "Olivia!" And the elf immediately stops trying to shove people into cells and goes over to hug Velona, and then holds her at arm's length after the embrace. "You're okay?" And Velona kind of looks down, shakes her head. You guys are all just kind of watching this happen. "I wasn't." And she whips around and looks at Lumina. "How did you fix me?"
I didn't do anything. You know, a warm embrace can do so much for a tortured soul, but not so much as a little bit of magic, apparently.
And she looks at you confused.
I'll say I had a bit of a helping hand. It won't last for a significantly long time, but you'll be okay for now at least. Hopefully, what I did will any of whatever you were going through.
Olivia then says, "Then would you please finish locking these people up? We'll take the actually, can the three of you," she points to Emery and Marisol and Roman, "can the three of you help me take these prisoners and get Velona out of here? You said her father's hired you. Where are you supposed to meet him?"
He's waiting outside.
And she kind of blinks and looks to her side.
Pretty sure he went back. He went back to the tavern or whatever. Not the tea kettle, the other one.
Is that what happened?
Both he and he didn't actually say what he was going to do. You only know what Thrusk was going to do.
He's waiting for you. I'll be more vague. He's waiting for you somewhere.
We'll find him. Don't worry.
The lizard folk outside likely can take him to us.
Well, we can probably take you to. We could probably Tim too. He'll probably where I'm going to take Velona anyway.
We can head there with you.
Can the three of you finish putting those guards into the cell? What I'll do is, as soon as I've delivered Velona safely, I will go and I'll talk to the Black Fist. I'm pretty certain this would be not something that they would have endorsed. This feels to me like, well, not... Hector Brahms would never have endorsed this, that's for certain.
If you can cover a trail, all the...
I would at least like a couple of us to be there with you when you deliver Alona to her father.
By all means, please come. And so we'll say, for the sake of brevity, you guys finish locking people up into cages, and you start out of the cave with Olivia and Valona. And Thrusk is already out there waiting rather quietly, and this is when... And actually, you know what? If you want, somebody can roll an insight check, somebody who's proficient in it, on Olivia.
I have a +6.
Go for it.
Do it.
Can I do it with guidance or no?
No, this is not something you would have known to be prepared for.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, a not low roll.
Nice. So you kind of see, as you guys come out and you see Thrusk, and Thrusk makes his presence known, you look at Olivia as she kind of face of... you can only call it something that the kind of face that you would expect somebody would make when they're getting really terse or mad at themselves. But she's trying to hide it very well. In any case, Olivia and Valona start making their way back over, backed out to the docks. Thrusk and the rest of you with them, kind of keeping your eyes open and vigilant. As you make your way back out onto the docks, dark out. It's pretty late, and there's not much activity. Even at the Laughing Goblin, it started to actually die down a little bit there as well. But you as a large group of people walking through the town of Phlan late at night along the docks kind of grabs some attention. And you get a Black Fist patrol, just two guards, who call out, and, "Oi, who goes there?" And Olivia says, "Olivia Faerûn, and you are..." And the guards say, "What does it matter? We are the Black Fist. What are you doing out so late and with such a large group?" She says, "I think it would be best if you were to take me to your guard sergeant right now." He said, they kind of look at her with a little bit of disdain, but being standoffish as well a little bit. "And why should we bother to do so?" "Because there's a criminal or element amongst you that we need to suss out, and as you can see, I have a number of people here with me who can certainly attest to this, and would rather not have to go through you, but with you." And immediately they kind of cower. All right. We'll take you to the guard sergeant. And so they start leading to the administrative office immediately across the street from the Laughing Goblin. Anything you guys are saying to each other as this is all happening?
Well, the good thing, Marisol, about this whole thing, if they're actually not all the Black Fists trying to imprison people for no reason, then maybe the little girl will get to stay with her papa, you know?
It's the Moonsea region. Everyone here is corrupt.
Lumina, you're not used to that kind of a mentality. You're used to the mentality of, let's make some money. That's what the people around your home area are like.
Make some money and let's invent stuff.
Exactly.
Instead of... Ugh.
So, Olivia says, "Valona, can you take them to your house?" And by this point in time, Valona's actually kind of shuttered in a bit again.
Yeah, heroism only lasts for about a minute, so...
Yeah, and she's now looking really, really hurt again, and is kind of just limping and looking off into the distance.
I'll pick her up.
And Olivia kind of shrugs and says, "She's in no shape. then
All right,
heads
yeah.
towards the administrative office.
I'll
I
go
think
too.
a couple of you guys should go.
Okay, so that's Serge and Marisol who said they'll go.
Yep.
Indeed.
Okay.
I will not be going.
I'm not really fond of the
Not
Black
going
Fist
because
either,
Marisol is
so
going. Love it.
I am
She scares
literally
me.
a criminal.
Sorry.
no, it's okay.
Okay, so we
You
have
guys will make
Serge.
it up to each other. You'll be fine.
So we have Serge and Marisol going with Olivia, and everybody else going with Valona.
Roman, why aren't you going?
I currently have Valona in my arms. I'm taking her home. That's why I'm not going.
Wasn't certain.
Okay.
I'm
I also
cur-
didn't exactly do much once we got in there because I was pretty much just cleaning them up.
So you, Serge and Marisol, you go with Olivia into the administrative office, and the guard sergeant there is a young lady who introduces herself to Olivia, asks what the problem is. Olivia goes on to kind of recount how there is this secret place, secret prison, and the two of them seem to know each other. And so there's a little bit, but of course the guard sergeant having, I'm trying to find her name. I lost it. Sorry. The guard sergeant is. I want to go with. There it is. She's basically kind of listening into Ilvia's story and asks us if there's anything that the two of you have to add. Is there any, aside from the fact that there's this cave and there are now these guards that have been put into cages inside this secret prison, is there anything else that you guys are going to add?
I lean forward, one hand on the desk, and just say coldly, keep your people in line a bit better, huh?
And the guard sergeant says, indeed, I'm sorry that you had to stoop to this to deal with them. This is unfortunately all too common and something I'm trying to manage myself, for that matter.
We'll see that you get it done.
It's the Moonsea. It's cute that you're trying.
And she says, indeed. It's one step at a time. And so I'm going to get you, I'll give you the name now that I found it. I had to go through all my notes to find it, but the name is Alade Burl. And the other four of you who are going off to Valona's house, you do drop off, get to Valona's. Thrusk is still with you as well. Thrusk kind of turns to Serge and says, "You didn't even get hurt."
Didn't Serge go with?
Oh, you're
Olivia?
right. Sorry, my bad. Thank you. So
Thrusk
Thrusk would have been. That's where he would have been saying this. Thrusk would have been saying, "You didn't even get hurt."
Not a scratch. See, I told you I would have been fine.
You think that you can make these people work with you?
I think I can make it work.
Then I think I need to make myself back home. I've done what I've been called to do.
Wish you luck getting that blessing.
Thank you. I don't think it'll be luck anymore now that you are on your path, and I really do hope that you find the sun. I do hope you find the black sun.
looks perturbed for like half a second before just smooths it away. Thanks. And just puts a hand out for like a handshake.
And he looks down, cocks his eyebrow. Oh, right, of course, and gives you the handshake back, and then carries on actually down the street instead of into the administrative office with the rest of you. So you guys, the rest of you, making your way down to the magical trinket shop, you do actually step in, and it's dark inside the shop, but you do see a light coming from a staircase to an upper level, and so the door was unlocked, so you guys just went straight in, and immediately as you come straight in, you kind of hear a bunch of sounds from above, quick skittering footsteps, and then as he comes running down the stairs. You got her!
Yes, we got her. She's a little hurt, but she'll make it.
Indeed. And I'm curious. We're gonna try see what happens. Cool. Okay. So he immediately Rillo kind of goes to pick up Velona from Roman, and kind of lays her out across a shop counter, knocking over a whole bunch of different things that he's obviously been working on, and lays her out and starts bandaging what he can and brushing hair out of her eyes and being very fatherly and trying to bring her health back to some semblance of health. Medicine check actually does pretty good, so she actually does kind of stir and look around. She looks as she's kind of spacing out, but still looking around. Her eyes finally settle on her father, and he looks on her kindly, and she reaches up and just pulls him into a really tight hug. After a little bit of an embrace, Rillo kind of shushes her and says, "Just relax, honey. I'll take you upstairs in a couple. You can be in your own bed. I have these people I need to talk to first." And she just nods and closes her eyes. And he turns to you guys. I truly can't thank you enough. Weren't there more of you, though?
Yes, they're currently with a friend of Velona's named Olivia, the guardhouse.
And he immediately kind of does a bit of a scowl, says,
Not arrested, however.
Perhaps
The
it's
guards that we
better
were
to talk
dealing with.
tomorrow.
Well, certainly, if
The
you
guards
would like.
that we were
She's got
dealing
the
with.
chance to rest.
Sorry, Roman, you were sounding kind of watery there. Say that again.
No, don't worry about it. Fine.
Okay. What were you
Give
saying, Autumn?
everyone a chance to rest.
He says, "Indeed. Where should we meet you?"
I believe the same place you found us is fine. The tea kettle.
Indeed, then I will. We may sleep in. So will
That
you
is
still be
totally fine.
there around the
We have
lunching
no
hour?
plans.
Come whenever you are free. We'll be there.
Very well. Thank you so much again. Hey, as a goodwill offering, just for now, I will gather what I can for you. No, hang on. I can do this now. And he goes in behind the counter, pulls out a pouch, and says, "The blue concerned with this, and I know it would help him if he had this. So, here's this, and as I promised, this magnifying glass. I have plenty. This will be this. You can use this if you need." And he places them both on the counter, but kind of beside Velona's feet.
Okay. I guess I'll grab them, and I guess tell him we'll see him later then, because I'm assuming we're still gonna have our talk tomorrow, maybe?
you will want to have you will want to look at the music boxes, I'm certain. And he looks at Lumina
Correct.
as he says that.
She kind of just nods, not really saying anything.
Okay, well, you'll have to forgive me, but I need time with my daughter.
Yes.
And he kind of
Be-
looks towards the door.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
We'll be on our way. Thank you.
Okay, and so
And I guess we'll head back to the tea kettle.
absolutely. So we
Is Marisol normally this scary?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll get used to it. She's fine.
She's not
She
that
tried to
scary.
tackle
She's just sort of, aggressive.
Yeah.
All right.
it'll only be a couple of minutes, and you guys will actually meet back up.
Yeah, that's
Surgeon
why I used that
Marisol-
moment
Yeah, indeed.
right there.
Surgeon Marisol will exit the administrative office just as you guys are kind of about to approach it as well. Olivia, immediately behind, and she says, we'll say by this point in time that she is discerned with Surgeon Marisol that she can also meet up with you guys back at the tea kettle, just to kind of follow up. And
Okay.
She's now bidding adieu, if you will. She's now bugging out.
All right. That's fine.
So you guys are now walking your way back to the tea kettle.
Indeed.
I'm gonna pull.
Oh,
Mm,
go ahead.
I was gonna pull Marisol aside to have a little chat before we're inevitably ambushed in the tea kettle with another request.
I actually have none for you for a little bit. You were going to have some downtime after this.
Ah, okay.
I mean, you can also
Uh,
just slow down.
Yeah, what did Serge want to say?
I was just gonna start talking to everybody, but by all means, you do your thing first.
The other day, you really didn't want to talk about the Zentarum, even though Tibin flew over there somehow. Do you really think they can't be useful?
Do you want slavers holding your chains? Do you want to owe blood debts to people who massacre hundreds and have continued to do so for hundreds of years? They're not people you trust. They're not people you put your faith in, and they're not going to be your Adventurers Guild piggy bank. Trust me.
Don't need them to be my piggy bank, but you're from far away, then they can reach so far. Look, this is the second time we helped a parent, and I can't sit around and be an absent parent myself for any longer.
An absent parent?
Yeah, the only reason I'm looking for a way to get back to Amn is because my son is really far away.
Why isn't he with you?
People like me aren't really welcome back home. So, and she kind of like pulls down her collar to show off the scales she's got all over her neck again. It's silly. They say that we go mad, but I don't feel like I'm going mad.
Would you even know if you were?
Would you tell me?
I've known you a few days, Lumina. You're nice, but I'm not exactly the best judge of character sometimes.
Oh, if I start hissing at you, I think we'll know then. But that doesn't matter. Like, I see here I can do magic and no one really bats an eye as much. But if I can change how people see us back home, or if I can at least get my son out of there, it would be so much better. I can't. Can you imagine what it's like having a year without your mother when you're so young?
As someone who frequently was without my parents growing up, yeah, I can.
See, that's no way to be a kid. That's no way to grow up.
My parents were good parents, they just weren't around much, and I don't blame them for that. They weren't people who settled down. They were a lot different from me.
You want to settle down?
I wanted to be a painter, and then my parents' ship went down in off the coast of the Pirate Isles, and suddenly I was the co-owner of Hollow Flags Cartography. And that thing has sucked the life out of me for the past 5 years, and will probably kill me.
Would it kill you?
Because business in Melmont is blood and soaked through.
Everything there goes through the Zentarim?
Or slavers like the Crimson Chain, or the council lords who only care about themselves. One of my city's biggest exports is slaves, and we have a bad history with orcs. I wasn't welcome at home.
So I'm just pause there. As we're all talking back, is there any conversations that you guys wanted to dive into at this point as well?
So, where are all of you from?
Not here.
I kind of gathered that.
Have you ever been to Myth Draenor?
No, Serge, you have not. Oh, I lost Serge.
No, I'm still
Hello?
here.
Okay.
I didn't. I said, have you ever been to Myth Draenor?
No.
That's where I'm from. Most recently, anyway.
Alright. And the rest of you?
You seem to move around a lot, don't you?
Not really.
I lived on the coast of the Sea of Fallen Stars.
That's a nice place.
Serge, why don't you
It
roll
was.
a quick nature check? No, history check.
Oh dear. Okay. Nope.
Okay. You have not. With the Sea of Fallen Stars, your challenge with it is that it's such a huge, expansive sea that what Autumn just basically told you means very little to nothing.
I still say it's
pretty
a
much
nice
half
place.
of Faerûn.
Basically, yeah.
It's a pretty big sea.
I'm a little farther south than that myself.
Come a long way.
Yeah, well. Sometimes learning things from faraway lands helps back home.
Where are you here anyway?
Guess to learn? Don't really have a full reason to be out here.
Scholarly type, huh?
I'm not that kind of scholar.
Not this kind of scholar, and I point down at Odom.
Odom's like scribbling some notes in, and he kind of like looks up, huh?
Yes, quite far from it.
What do you study?
Well, there's only one thing to study. Battle. I grew up learning tactics. That has kind of never left me.
I look at Emery's and I'm like, why are you here?
Well, to be honest, I'm seeking the answer to a question.
Oh. Arches an eyebrow at you.
Perhaps, well, I've sort of already kind of revealed the question to others, but let's just say I'm not a normal elf.
I could have figured that much.
Like, stops
Indeed.
and, like, seriously looks you up and down. Look pretty
Okay.
normal to me.
Go for an insight check while you're doing that.
Okay, hang on.
I mean, there's an obvious insecurity, like, beneath that statement. Like, it's something that, it's almost, like, internalized in his head. I guess would be what she gathers from that.
Good.
He's not lying.
Alright, mental note.
Do you know anything about elves, Serge?
Do I know anything about elves?
You have served with a couple of them. Most of what you know is, of course, humans and halflings in particular. That was most of what populated your company when you were on the ship. But you've also had to interact with all sorts of races, Goliaths, and yes, elves of different types. But you don't know an awful lot of about the difference between types of elves. Just that there are different types of elves. And that's it.
I know some. What are you getting at?
Well, I suppose I've already admitted it. To put it simply, they're all elves share. Well, don't share. They have immortal souls, souls that have been passed down from elves of ages past, since the dawn of when Corellian created us. And as children, we sort of receive these memories in our trances involuntarily as we. And as we grow, we eventually learn to we lose access to these memories, and our trance becomes more about our own memories. And it is when a child elf sees their last vision of their, shall we say, quote unquote memories, that they are deemed an adult in elfin society. This happens around their first century. I'm a couple decades past my first century, and yet every once in a while, a vision bleeds through.
So what you're saying is you're basically still a kid.
Well, societally, culturally, I suppose, but no more than you are still a child, and because you have not, I don't know, achieved some imaginary milestone.
And what
Elven-
imaginary milestone have I not achieved?
I don't know. I'm just trying to defend myself. Elves reach maturity, physical maturity, at the same rate humans do. We're no different in that regard. It's just a matter of since we are so long-lived, they sort of assume a bit more experience is required before we are deemed adults and take on an adult name. Which I suppose I should say that I have taken an adult name, even though I shouldn't necessarily have one.
I get the point.
Autumn, were you about to say something there too?
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay.
It's
Dwarf
just-
society is very similar in the respect of age.
It doesn't mean anything, but it does, because it means something's different about me. I'm trying to find out what, but it's kind of hard when the visions are so vague, and it's hard to find anyone who even knows a thing about elves beyond Everestia or Mithranor.
And with that, it's at about that point in time when the six of you all kind of enter the tea kettle. It is dark, or unpopulated. Nobody is up. The front door is only open because there is one of the young ladies, Briez, is up. Knowing apparently she was waiting for you, and just to make sure that she locked up after you guys arrived. And this is where we're gonna stop here for now, and we're gonna say that you're gonna go for your long rest, and the next day we will pick up off with this, and perhaps some more conversation in the morning, perhaps a little bit of a visit from Olivia and Rillo and Vilona. Who knows? You got lots to choose from, and you guys got lots of different directions that you could probably consider at this point in time.
Indeed.
There is the business, of course, of experience points. And so we're got to find that here real quick for you. So let's see here. There was 100, 550, 600, and so everybody should have should add 150 experience. Sorry, 175 experience to your sheets.
You add 175, you said?
Yes, so that should put you guys at, what is it, 615?
Yeah, 615 is what I got.
That's what I have.
Perfect. There you go.
That's not what I have.
I think there's an issue. I think we should have about 300 more at speed than you've given us. Just saying.
You guys want to be level 3.
We do want to be
We
level
want
3.
subclasses.
I know.
We've all advanced in character, so I know we've done only a couple fights, but like the character developments are just going crazy.
They are.
Thanks,
Even
guys.
said
I
it.
gotta
I
go,
want
though.
to show
I
Romans.
really
Bye,
gotta go.
Lumina.
Yep.
So
bye,
just
bye.
as a quick reminder that we are going in 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes. I
right.
leave. I must take my leave.
Thank you guys very much. You have a
Bye.
wonderful night.
Night.
Thank you as well for running.